will take care of you. Am I talking to anybody in here who can look at your neighbor and say, I don't look like what I've been through. I've been through the storm and the rain, but I made it. I've been through heartache and pain, but I made it because the Lord is a keeper, and I'll put it all in his hands. Hallelujah. Put it all in his hands. I put it in his hands because he's a keeper. And I need you to know that he is a keeper. I put it in his hand because he's a keeper. I put it in his hands because he won't let my foot move. It doesn't mean I won't have to pick up my dribble. Doesn't mean I won't ever have any problems. But he'll keep me from giving up. And he'll be a shade on my right hand. That means he won't necessarily keep me out of the heat, but he will keep the stuff in the heat from hurting me. And I'll be able to handle it. I'll be able to stand in the midst of it. Let me see, time out. Do you know sometimes when the Lord leads you to pray for someone, you need to take that very seriously, because God is using you to represent him in the life of another individual. Can I make it plain? I never will forget in our first church when we first married and we were pastoring in Donora, Pennsylvania. Donora, Pennsylvania, you never heard of it. And Donora, Pennsylvania, we had a very small church in Donora, Pennsylvania, and we had two children, 14 months apart. That meant 50% of our household didn't speak English. And we were I was trying to handle it, and Sister Waller was trying to handle it, and life was rough. It was rough in 1991. Well, one of the things it was interesting to me is that periodically I would come into the church, and there was a woman, she was a deaconess. She would be on the altar and she was praying. She was praying and she was crying. She was praying and she was crying. And I would see her there and I would leave her alone. She's praying. And silly me, 29-year-old me, was saying, oh, she must be going through something. Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, life is hard, but I'm handling it. Things are going on in my life, but I'm able to stand. But every week I came in and Sister Deaconess Maria Gardner was on the altar praying, and she was crying. And I'm thinking she's going through something. But I'm able to make it. I'm standing every week and I'm preaching all these revivals, and I'm able to stand in the midst of the storm. My dad is sick, but I'm still able to handle everything. And I would come in and Deaconess Gardner was sitting here crying. Finally, I got up the nerve to ask Deaconess Gardner, why in the world did she come into church, and why are you on the altar, and why are you crying? Is there anything that I can help you with? Is there anything that I can do for you? Then all of her, she said, Pastor, you need to understand, I'm okay, but the Lord had me praying for you. The Lord had me praying for you to keep it up. She said, the tears I was crying are the tears that should have been yours, but you had work to do, and so I helped carry the burden. I was on assignment for you. That's how God takes care of us. That when God calls you, he's calling you to be something for somebody else. Because at the end of the day, the text says he'll preserve you. He will preserve you. Listen to how he says it. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, this time forth and forevermore. Did you notice that word preserve? Now, I like that. Now, I know this is California, and y'all might not know about preserves. Because this is California. I live in Philly, but I'm from Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio is up south. And I need to tell you about preserves. Preserves is something that my mother did, my grandmother did. And preserve. Now, let me tell you how preserves work. Whatever you're going to preserve, you got to get a little mason jar. You got to get a mason jar. You get the mason jar, and you can preserve. You can preserve pear halves. You can preserve greens. You can preserve jelly, but there's also something we made called chow chow. Chow chow. Anybody in here? See, y'all ain't been in California all your life. So anyhow, so the way you do preserves is you take whatever you're going to preserve, you put it in the mason jar, and then you got this wax that goes on top of it that keeps it, and then you close the top, then the little rubber thing on top, and then you close it. But then you got to take some masking tape and you write on it what it is. You have to write on it pair halves, March 89. Because if it's done right, they're going to stay there for a while. And that's how you preserve things. Now, you're wondering where I'm going. I'm trying to help you understand what God will do for you. So in Cleveland, we're near Lake Erie, and it's kind of flat. So we are known for tornadoes and also hurricanes. And when hurricanes hit in Cleveland, that means water from Lake Erie is going to come up. And so it's not unheard of for our cellars to get flooded out. So we had one of those storms. I mean, it was a bad storm. And the storm hit, and it flooded out our cellar. It wasn't a basement, it's a cellar. A basement is a cellar that's finished. And so a cellar is it's a cellar. And what's down in the cellar is the washing machine and the deep fridge and maybe a bike or something like that. But you don't hang out down there. You just down there. So the storm hit, and the storm flooded out my cellar, my dad's cellar and my mom's cellar. And the storm tore up the washer and dryer. I mean, it messed the washer and dryer up. The storm tore up the deep freeze or the refrigerator. But what it did not mess with is my mama's preserves. My mama's preserves. I mean, the storm hit and it was flooded. The water was up to here in the cellar, and the cellar was destroyed. My bike was destroyed, and the washing machine was destroyed, but not my mama's preserves. How do I know? Here comes the shout. Because when it was all done and we picked up all the preserves and we brought them upstairs, and my father wanted to just check it out, all of a sudden he opened up one of them and pulled the wax off, and then he took a fork in and tasted a little bit, and I never will forget, he said, this don't taste like it's been through a storm. This don't taste like what it's been through. And I wonder, am I talking to somebody in here that when somebody tastes your life, they say, she don't taste like this year has been this hard. She doesn't taste like everything that has happened. Why? Because he's a keeper. He will take care of you. Am I talking to anybody in here who can look at your neighbor and say, I don't look like what I've been through. I don't taste like what I've been through. I've been through the storm and the rain, but I made it. I've been through heartache and pain, but I made it because the Lord is a keeper, and I'll put it all in his hands. Hallelujah.